about what you deal in, what your business is about, how one can reach out to you. It's the best to use this opportunity to network with one another. We've seen in the past that a lot of users actually find the right prospect customers just by introducing their business and understanding what the requirement is from the other end. So hi and welcome to everybody here today. We'll start the session sharp at 1:05. But in the meanwhile, like I just mentioned, and I'm repeating it for the newcomers, do introduce yourself using the chat box. If you have any question during the session, please feel free to use the Q&A section to ask any questions that you would like answered. In the chat box, they tend to get missed out. So I request you all to use the Q&A to send it. I'll just request my colleague to enable chat. It seems to be disabled. Just allow us a moment and we'll sort that. I'm able to send a message. I hope you received it, but given that we received Mr. Dhaumya, can you please try using the chat box now? So while my colleague is seeing if there is anything that needs to be done, because I seem to be able to send a chat, but I'm not able to see any responses from any of you. So let's just, okay. Thank you, Gautam, and thank you, Dhaumya, for confirming that it's working. Great. So hi and welcome to all of you. We'll start the session sharp at 1:05, but the idea today is to explain to you, or rather welcome you onto the platform GlobalLinker, to tell you about what we stand for, how we can help you in your digital journey, as well as talk a little more about the importance of having a digital profile, about how you can improve it, how you can add rich content, aesthetic, appealing images, all of that. The way I would like to do this session is to keep it as interactive as possible. So I would encourage all of you to use the chat box, respond to all my questions. It could be yes, no, maybe, I don't know, or whatever your answer is, but do stay actively engaged. Send in any queries, feedback, anything at all, and we'll be happy to answer them. Stay tuned till the end of the session because we have a special giveaway. Okay, so we have just 2 more minutes left before we get started. We'll allow all the other members to join in as well. I can see now that you all are using the chat box. It's a very, it's the right thing to do. And I can see that you all are introducing yourself as well. Do ensure you put in your GlobalLinker profile so that somebody can actually connect with you if they would like to. Let me now just take a moment and share my screen. Okay. So we'll get started now. Just recently, I was reading a research article which indicated that about 40% of businesses, almost about 38% of businesses will die out in the next 10 years if they really don't learn how to accommodate new technologies, in fact, digital mediums. So the agenda is to really help you identify the new technologies and digital mediums, as well as bring you on the right path so that you're not left out. And like I mentioned, the way we'll do this session is to keep it very interactive. You should stay actively engaged, reply in the chat box, send in any comments, queries, feedback. What we're going to cover today is basically a broad or large overview of GlobalLinker. In fact, I will show you a live demo of the session. Then we'll move on to why is it important to have an online profile? How can you have one? How will you make it as rich as possible? Then we'll move on to various examples that will explain why, when, where, and how to sell online, and how do you really get started, as well as then how do you move on to attracting your prospect customers, telling them that you're out there, telling them that you're ready to service them 24/7 whenever they want, as well as we'll take on a Q&A section such that we can answer any queries. Intentionally, I will leave more time for the Q&A section such that it will help you make the most of this session. So let's get started now. Yeah. So can I ask a question? How many of you here today know what GlobalLinker is and how it can help you? Just give me a short understanding. You can use the chat box to tell me what you know about GlobalLinker. So what is GlobalLinker to you? And have you ever attended any session in the past? But let's just see what GlobalLinker means to all of you. E-commerce platform, okay. Networking platform, right? It's connecting with global buyers, okay. Okay, so let me give you in a layman sense, catalog with B2B online e-commerce platform for exports. Okay, great. So it is actually a collection of all the various things that you are mentioning here. But just to give you in a layman sense, just like the way we use Facebook to connect with friends, to connect with family, as well as we use LinkedIn to, let's say, connect for jobs or work updates. GlobalLinker is a world of business opportunities. So imagine connecting with various B2B business connections. That's what GlobalLinker is. So in simple terms, it's a community of business owners like yourself who network with one another, who interact about sourcing new raw material, getting new suppliers, engaging distributors, let's say appointing agents, or even sharing awards, applying for awards, or even sharing new product launches, achievements, all of it. It is treated as your online business circle. We have over 400,000, so 4 lakh members who are actually doing that. In fact, it's free to join, but an invite-only program. So I'm happy to know that you all have been invited by some of the other leading organization or to be a part of GlobalLinker. Okay, so now let me just probably go ahead and show you a glimpse of how the platform looks like. I will log into my own profile and show you how it looks like and what are the various tools and features that you can use. Let me just share my screen again. Okay, so this is how your profile looks like when you log in. It's made user-friendly, just like you use any other social platforms. You see that on the left-hand side, you can see about yourself as well as the organization you represent. Every employee or stakeholder or individual is linked to an organization and therefore represents that organization. In the middle section, you can see that you can start sharing any of your ideas, opinions, start any discussions. And on the right-hand side, you can see various updates that are happening, whether in the form of articles, whether in the form of awards. You can apply for various aspects. You can attend various events. So let me just scroll and show you. For example, the session that you're attending today is live on the platform as well. So you could have attended it on GlobalLinker as well. Here, if you see, I recently started a discussion which spoke about all the buyer queries that are happening from foreign exporters, from foreign importers. So if you were an exporter, you could have applied to any of this. In fact, you still can. So what I'm trying to highlight here is that various discussions, various rich information is being shared on the platform. People are engaging with each other, helping one another, understanding from each other how they can grow, discussing various challenges, finding opportunities, Or let's say here this organization is looking for a buyer, and therefore he's sharing various images of his products, he's sharing information about how it's beneficial for a prospect customer. So that way you see there are various organizations sharing what they deal in, what they're looking for. And I'm just scrolling to give you a feel and look of it. So you could visualize as well as go back and then explore the platform further. Or let's say, for example, this Mr. Hemant has joined a group which says fish and farming. So let me move on to the next topic and show you what knowledge looks like. So what exactly is knowledge? One is the discussions which we saw on the homepage, where you can actually write information or write anything that you're looking to understand. But what is knowledge? So now, in the form of articles, people are contributing information that they would want their viewers to know about. In fact, it's a very good way to actually establish trust and credibility. So gone are the days when people would say, I deal in XYZ, these are my products, this is my pricing. If you're interested, reach out to me. Given the range and the variety and the number of organizations dealing in every single product, it's important to stand out from the crowd. And how do you do that? You actually will do it by contributing articles. And what does an article really, let's say, consist of? Instead of saying I deal in, let's say, consulting services, you could actually share insights about your recent consignment or recent assignment that you've done for any organization. What were the learnings, what change you could bring about, or let's say what are the trends and patterns in that industry. So the minute I, as a customer, let's say I was reading that article, I would feel inspired, one, by your level of knowledge and expertise in that subject. Second, by the fact that you're willing to share it with everybody, as well as then I will reach out to you versus somebody else who's just written I deal in XYZ. So if you see here, not only business owners like yourself, but also leading organizations like Federation of Indian Export Organizations talks about weekly trade alerts that are happening in the export space. Retailers Association of India talks about all the trends, insights, patterns in the retail industry. We as an organization contribute information that will help business owners. And in fact, also, like I mentioned in my first example, business owners themselves. So Mr. Pramod Vetri writes a lot in the learning and development space, while Arnab Ray speaks in the business development. So no matter which industry or whichever category you fit in, you should go out there, talk about your expertise, as well as, of course, you can also come here to just consume rich content. Okay, so now let's move on to the section which is groups. I showed you on the homepage how Mr. Hemant had joined a group. This is a section where you can join various groups of like-minded people. So let's say you're interested in fashion, you'll join that group, or you want to just know about accounting services, you would join that group. So it's pretty self-explanatory, where people, like-minded people, are coming together on a particular group, discussing various opportunities, challenges, patterns, trends, all of it on that group, as well as seeking information about any particular problem that they are facing. All of that happens, and then people comment about it. They share their views about it. So it's important for you to also stay actively engaged in these groups. Now, moving quickly to the events section. Here is where, if you registered on for this today's session, you would have come to the events tab on GlobalLinker and attended it. But what I'm trying to highlight here is not just events by GlobalLinker, but there are events by various organizations, leading organizations, courses, a lot of rich information being shared in this space. So it's important you keep a tab on this section. But not only that, if you are an organization who has an event and you want to tell the world or the business community that you are hosting an event and you're inviting them to be a part of it, whether virtually or physically, you could post it here and invite people to join. Okay, so let's now quickly move on to the offer section. I'll come to the catalog section in a bit. But what does the offer section stand for? So it's basically a consolidation of various services that you as a business owner might want during your course of business journey. So we've tried to curate from market leaders. Let's say there's you can find office space, you can find just creating a current account, or you want an overdraft, or you want to actually explore accounting tally, or you want to kind of get some digital marketing services. So all of the offers are curated here for you. But the icing on the cake is that we've actually negotiated these offers for you, for all our business owners, because all 4 lakh business owners coming together is a lot of volume for them, and therefore they give highly negotiated rates. So do go ahead and check out this section as well. Moving quickly now to the online store, and the most requested part of our previous sessions is basically the online catalog. So first of all, whether you are a B2C, D2C, D2B, industrial, consumer, no matter which industry category you are in as of today, you can create your online catalog. So that's the first thing. And you can create it using your GlobalLinker profile itself. There are over 20,000 businesses who actively use this as of today. Let me show you a couple of examples. So this is a brand in the south, in Telangana, who is using this as a way to actually help women in the slums. They provide them a living by selling their products on this online website. You can see how they have put up various banners, various aesthetic images. All the product information is there. There's pricing, there are discounts. There is also, they also put in various videos, what is happening behind the scenes, what's happening on their social media. So if you are an organization, you could also make this on your own, free of cost, using the GlobalLinker platform. You can see here how they've put up their empowerment stories. And of course, they're also inviting their customers to become a part of their newsletter. What are the testimonials or reviews that customers are putting up? So this is one example of a B2C business, but let me also show you a B2B kind of an organization. So this is Sevisa, which deals in beveling machines. And you might think that I deal in large machines, and putting up a price to it may not be really justified. And therefore, there is another feature that you can use, which is basically that you can invite people to send in an inquiry. So let's say you have either a customized product, therefore you can't put up a price, or you deal in B2B or bulk, therefore you don't want to put up your price, or your price keeps varying, you want to invite customers to actually interact with you. Don't leave that opportunity blank. Don't leave it that somebody will come onto your website, see all the information, feel convinced, and then make a call to you. That doesn't happen 100% of times. So what you do is you capture that interest right there and then. You allow them to send inquiries for the product they're interested in. So it's a very focused or a niche approach. Wherever you can showcase your prices, allow them to add it to the cart, as well as then go ahead and make a purchase. In fact, we have payment gateway providers as well as logistics providers pre-integrated. So you don't have to worry that when you get an order, what do I do? I'm not tied up with any logistics partner, or I don't support online payment. All of that is already in place for you. Let me also just show you one more store before we move on. Here is an organization, I think in the D2C space, who is using GlobalLinker to create their online catalog. In fact, if you see, they're playing a live video of how they maintain their organization, what's happening, what are their different products. So if you can do this on your own, and there are various ways in which you can create this on your own. One is by actually seeing all of our pre-created videos. We have a lot of them on our YouTube channel. I will be sharing the link of that in the chat box so that you can refer to it later on. We also have live training sessions every day at 5:30 p.m. to help you through this journey. Or let's say you don't have the time or not able to put in the effort, then we can create this for you at a nominal cost. So if you're interested in that option, drop me a message and I'll be happy to help you around that. We'll set up a call with an expert for that as well. Okay, so let me now just go back to our presentation. So I hope you've now gotten a sense or a feel of how the GlobalLinker platform can actually help you. Great. So the idea of the platform is basically twofold. One is to make you as a business discoverable, and the second is make you transaction ready. So these are the two important things that you should focus on when you're on the platform. Let's now also move on to how do you get started with broadly your journey online. Now, before that, let me ask you all a question. So as business owners, resources are limited, right? And we really need to use them wisely. So I would like to know from all of you, what is your most limited resource? What do you feel constrained with? Use the chat box and tell us what your limited resource is. Let me see what comes up. Okay, I can see somebody saying money, funds. Okay, what else? Finding buyers. Okay, bandwidth. Sure. Capacity. Okay, time, sourcing, clients. Sure. One thing, when you're replying to any of my questions, please use the everyone tab to respond so that others can also see your enthusiasm and feel inspired to reply. Don't send it only to hosts and panelists. In that only I can see it. So what else? I can see a lot around funds and time and money. Okay. Okay. So no matter what the resource is limited, it's important we identify that in our mind and then plan before we act. We need to move in the right direction, right? So in the session ahead, I'll actually show you what are the various channels you can use in telling your prospect customers that you're ready to service them, no matter where they are, what they want, when they want, and wherever they are. So again, before we move forward, let me ask you all to draw a tree, and draw a tree either on paper or on in your head, but draw it under 5 seconds. Let me pause there for 5 seconds. Just draw a tree on paper or in your mind. So can I ask you all, how many of you, just reply with yes or no, how many of you drew a tree exactly like this, 2 lines for barks and then a cloud on top to show the bush? Did you draw a tree like that, either in your mind or on paper? Just like we were taught as kids, 2 lines for barks and a cloud on top for the bush. Yes, yes, yes. I can see a lot of yeses there. Okay. So imagine now if we were all sitting in a group, we were all together networking with each other, and there was a competition where each of us were put in various groups and we had to draw a tree. I can vouch and tell you that all of us would have drawn it differently. We would have done it as creatively as possible, added fruits, added colors, added roots, added a lot of other greenery. So what I'm trying to bring here is that just the fact that we are in a closed setting, networking with one another, ignites that spark within your own mind. So leave alone even getting ideas from somebody else, just that entire environment makes you think about how to do things differently, how to really ignite that spark. So so what I'm trying to leave you with the thought here is that building connections, networking, being in that space, challenging your own thoughts is important. And it really plays a big role when, even if you're doing a task in a routine manner, just thinking about it will make you do it differently. Okay. So now moving to the next point on building your own sales channel. So why should we build our own sales channel? Times are changing, right? And so should we. But just think about it. Have you ever clicked on block an advertisement or clicked on skip ad? Can I see the yes and no's there? Have you ever clicked on block ad, skip ad? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, wow. You've all clicked on that. I've done it myself. But let me ask you, how many of you have actually followed an influencer on the other hand? Have you actually followed a celebrity who is talking about various products that they use? So on one hand, and I can see a lot of yeses on that as well. So on one hand, we are, as consumers, trusting humans. We want to focus or follow celebrities, influencers, people who are talking about products that we relate to versus promotional content. So it's important we actually build or invest in building our own brand. Otherwise, we're not going to be noticed. And I'll come to this point a little towards the next one as well, about diversification on marketplaces. Now, all of us, I'm sure, are listing our products on marketplaces like Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra, Big Basket, depending on whichever category we are in. But as a consumer, just step back and think. I'd like to ask you all, Mr. Gaurav, Renuka, do you really actually see the name of the seller while making a purchase? Let's say you're browsing on Amazon, you're looking for a pen. Do you see the name of the seller, or do you see fulfilled by whom, or do you see ratings? What do you see? I honestly never see the name of the seller. I go ahead and make a purchase based on other parameters like reviews, ratings, all of that. Yes, I can see reviews and ratings as well. So why I brought this up is basically you should be on marketplaces to get customers, but don't be under that assumption that being on marketplaces is building your own brand name. To build your own brand name, you have to have your own sales channel, whether that's physically, digitally, or fidgetally, which is a combination of both. That's important. Okay, so we'll elaborate on this a little more in the future, but let me tell you all that at GlobalLinker, we have over 20,000 plus sellers who are actively using the store capability to create their online catalog. I personally have been in conversation with them for the past 4.5 years now. And a lot of them have shared trends, insights, their learnings, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And I'm trying to collate at GlobalLinker, we're trying to collate and disseminate this information to you so that we all learn and grow together. But before we move forward, let me ask you all, how many of you here shop online today? Do you purchase anything at all online? Let me ask you, do you purchase anything? It can be on a website, it can be on any grocery, Amazon. Yes, of course, a lot. Yes, 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 100%. 80% of my purchases are online. Okay, now let me ask you, even industrial art purchases are online. Wonderful. How many of you are selling online today? You as business owners, are you allowing your customer to have that same experience that you actually want? Not yet started. No, not yet. I want to. Not yet. No. Okay, so I noticed that all the yeses changed to no's. I'm just going to leave you with that thought that when you want to experience buying online, your customer wants to as well. So go out there, get started, allow them to buy online, and I'll help you do that as well. So let's quickly move on to what are the 5 stages of digitization. So the first being that you actually lay the foundation by creating an online presence, right? You then start building it by staying active. You start writing articles, you start writing posts, you start promoting your products, your services, your business, either via social media, via digital marketing activities. You implement SEO, SEM, and then you start going to the growth phase where you start relying on data, on trends. You start wanting to increase profits and reducing costs. And at the end of all of this, you want to sustain it. You want to get repeat customers, you want to earn goodwill, you want to build loyalty, right? But often a lot of times people argue, and you might argue as well, that I've been doing business traditionally for years now. I'm very satisfied. My customers come to my doorstep, they come to my store and purchase my goods. So why should I move online, either hybrid or if not completely? So let's take an example to demonstrate this. And if I can request Miss Renuka Gajar, I'll use you as a volunteer in this example. So let's say Renuka has a store in the footwear category. She sells footwear in Andheri, in Mumbai, and she has 100 customers coming to her every single day. Yes, hi Renuka. So, and she's making profits, she's very happy. But can I ask you all, how should Renuka expand? She has 100 customers coming to her door every single day for her products. And that's a different story about how many convert and how many don't. But how does she move to 500 customers a day? Any thoughts on what Renuka should do? Print pamphlets, okay. What else? Run a discount, okay. What else should Renuka do? Create an online catalog, okay. Advertise, sure. Increase her network, okay. Distribute brochures, sure. Online promotion, Renuka says. Okay, so let's say now that Renuka agrees to, I think Mr. Pramod said, run a discount. So let's say Renuka actually runs a discount of 50% off and attracts various people now to her store. From 100 customers a day, she's reached 200 customers a day just by running a sale. Now stop for a second and think what happened. While she has a new set of 100 customers, she has reduced her profits drastically, even though her customers have increased. So let's say we go by, Renuka actually goes by her own thought of online promotion, and she sets up an online store, right? She is now able to track all her data. When are customers coming on her online store? What time are they coming? Which day are they coming? And let's say now she goes by the thought, by the idea of running a discount only during her lean time. She notices that over time, people are not purchasing from her on Tuesday between 5 to 7 p.m., maybe because of some superstition or something like that. She runs the 50% off only during that time. And guess what? Now she has the new set of customers. She has her profits intact because she is not discounted all during all timings, during all days, right? So let's say now Renuka's friend, Mr. Amit, comes to her store and says that, wow, Renuka, you started selling online, and now from instead of Andheri, you're getting, instead of just 2 to 3 kilometers around your store, you're getting orders pan India. But I started my journey 5 years back on the digital space, and I'm getting orders from Australia, from Africa, from various places across the globe. So it's important. What I'm trying to bring about here is that the sky is the limit, honestly, in the online space. It's important you get started. Moving ahead is something that you can do over the course of time. But if you don't start today, if you don't establish that network online today, it will get tougher as and when you lose time. Okay. So I thank you, Mr. Amit, Ms. Renuka, for being a part of this example, just for others to understand. Let me now quickly move on to a digitization index that we've tried to actually factor in various stages at which you as a business owner may be at. So let's say there are business functions, be it marketing, sales, operations, logistics, all of them have various stages of digitization, various areas of digitization. In marketing, let's say you don't have a logo, you go ahead and create an ad hoc one. You then go ahead and move to the next step of making a professional one. Or let's say you don't have an online profile, you create one, you create a GlobalLinker profile, you complete it, you stay active, you start posting. Or even in the website space, you don't have any presence, you start small, create, let's say, an information only website, then you start doing promotions, then you have a full-fledged e-commerce store. Or even on social media for that matter, let's say you don't have any presence today, create your pages, create that awareness. Then you decide, instead of once a month posting, I will do once a week, or let's say then once a day. And then you move on to paid promotions, you move on to social media e-commerce store as well. So what I'm trying to bring here is that it's important you move ahead to the stage where your customers are able to get your product to their doorstep by paying online and at whenever they want to, right? So let me move on to the next, let's say, another function and tell you about operations and sales. Are you actually tracking your data efficiently? Are you allowing your B2B partners to transact with you online? I saw somebody had said they are purchasing even industrial goods. So are you allowing your customers, whether they are distributors, retailers, or end consumers, to purchase from you? So let me give you an example of a manufacturer of, there was this organization who manufactures garments, who actually went ahead and digitized their entire supply chain. As of today, their distributors, 100 distributors who have, each distributor has 1,000 retailers, all the entire chain orders from them online. Can you imagine the amount of visibility they have in the supply chain now? The amount of visibility this manufacturer has, that when the distributor is ordering, when his retailer is ordering, when the customer is ordering from the retailer, what they are ordering, how often they are ordering, the entire chain is there. So if you are an organization who wants to digitize your own supply chain as well, then we, in fact, at GlobalLinker have a tool to do that, an enterprise solution to do that. It comes as a cost. If you're interested, you can drop me a message and I'll schedule a demo for you to understand how you can do that. But just to give you a little more background and information, you can do as many customizations, right from whether you're customizing the purchase order quantity, whether you're customizing the credit limit, whether you're customizing discounts, and each of them have unique login details. So it's not that distributor A will be able to see what distributor B is doing or what parameters have been set. All of them will be able, and you'll of course avoid manual errors that happen today. Is it today that your salesperson goes to the distributor, shows him the product catalog every single time, sits and asks him what product you want to purchase now? Let's say the customer is saying, I want 30 products of A product. And then the salesperson is convincing him, no, you do 50 because that's your minimum order quantity this time. And then he writes that instead of 50, he writes it as 80. Then there are returns. There are a lot of problems that can be avoided today if you just digitize your supply chain, right? So I'm going to leave you with that thought. If you are interested in that, you can come back to me and I'll be happy to schedule a call for you. But let me actually now leave a little more time for the Q&A section to attend to any of the questions that you might have, or even give you some more information based on whatever you want. So I'm sharing my contact details on the screen, but I'll also put it in the chat box. I've put it in the chat box. It was really nice that you all were very interactive today. Let me now move on to the Q&A section. Okay, so do we have any questions today? No questions means that you've all understood why, how, and how important it is to be online. So do I see any questions that need to be answered? It could be even feedback. Okay, so while I allow everybody to send in any questions, I spoke about a giveaway in the starting of the session. It's time to tell you all a little more about that. So this giveaway also is focused towards how we are trying to help you grow your business. So if what you need to do for this giveaway is just go on to any of your social media platforms, any at all. It can be Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, anything. In fact, even on GlobalLinker, go ahead and post about how you benefited from today's session. Send us that URL and we will be happy to shortlist you for the giveaway. It's as simple as that. And what the giveaway includes is basically a one-on-one exclusive review with an in-house expert who will guide you where you are. So let's say you've not created your profile, they'll help you in what you can do to improve it, or you've started your online catalog, what should you do to go out there in the market. So no matter where you are during the journey, we will do a one-on-one session in helping you and your business grow. So go ahead and make the most of this opportunity. Again, like I said, you just need to post feedback, share your love about how you benefited during this session today. Do tag us, GlobalLinker. You could tag me as well, and share the URL, and we will be happy to shortlist you. Okay. So I can see Mr. Gaurav Gupta says, I have registered on your portal, but still need guidance. Please let me know what guidance you want. In fact, you could tell us what is it that you want to listen to in the next session, and we'll be happy to incorporate that. I would request you to kindly elaborate on your question, or you could write to us separately or call me separately, and we'll be happy to answer that. Okay, so are there any further questions, thoughts, anybody participating in the giveaway? Do I have any URLs to wait for? We'll wait for 2 more minutes before we end the session. If there are no questions, we can connect back towards, in fact, we do a lot of sessions over the course of time. A lot of learning insights are shared. It was really very nice interacting with all of you. Thank you so much for being such an engaging and a participating audience today. Okay, I can see that Mr. Gaurav has put in his store URL. Gaurav, we would be happy to review your store. In order to do that, please kindly participate in the giveaway by mentioning any of your social pages about how you benefited, and we'll be happy to shortlist you. Sure. Will I get guidance about how to set up my online store from Mr. Faisal? 100%. There are 3 ways to do this. One, go on to YouTube. We have a channel. You just search for GlobalLinker and you will see our channel there. All videos have been put up there, pre-created for you. So let's say you get stuck on how do I upload a product, you will be able to see that as well. How do I change pricing? How do I set up payment gateway? All of that is there. Alternatively, you can join our evening sessions at 5:30 p.m. I'll request my colleague to put the link of the URL in the chat box. The link remains the same. Every single day, all working days, Monday to Friday, 5:30 p.m., we have live training sessions on promotion management, creating an online store, linking it to payment gateways, linking it to logistics partners. So, and you can ask any of your questions as well there. So do join that. And the third way is where we can create it for you. So we will set up the online store for you at a nominal cost. If you're interested in that option, you can definitely write to me and we'll be happy to help you there. So my colleague has put in what the agenda as well as the schedule is. On Monday, there's catalog management. Tuesday, there's payments and delivery management. Wednesday, there's promotions management. Thursday, it's about how do you make your online store attractive. Friday, we discuss about customer and order management. Like I said, the link remains same so that you can join in any day of the week, any week. Please do join in. It's a live session. We have an in-house expert in the e-commerce space and he will be happy to help you there. Okay, so are there any last questions to address? Mr. Sundarlal says, I've already registered on GlobalLinker. How can I upload my product? There is on your profile, there is a section called products and services. All you need to do is just add it in there and it will come for approval and we will kind of help you take that live. In case you have any problems, please send me a message and I'll be with a screenshot and I will be happy to address it. Not very clear on how your question on how do I upload it. If needed, in the next session, I will do in fact, we have a session on profile creation. I will be happy to enroll you for that session as well. Okay, thank you everybody for joining in today. Thank you for being a very participating audience. Thank you for taking out 1 hour of your busy schedule and attending this to understand how this will actually help you in your business growth. And thank you for the volunteers who were a part of the example today. Thank you, everybody.